Okay, everyone. What we are going to do today is visit Austin Finance Online. You'll see that we have included a screenshot of Austin Finance Online. On this page, you are able to access a financial document, performance management, checkbook, unclaimed property, hotel and short-term rentals, and procurement section. For the purpose of this presentation, we'll focus on procurement. Once you select procurement, then home, and followed by Austin procurement, it will take you to this screen. What you see here is our procurement page. When you go to procurement and hover over, you will see a list of items that are available. This includes our home page, vendor page, no lobbying report, solicitations, and contracts. Within each of this section, there are options to drill down further. We'll discuss more in detail on what each section means. This page describes purchasing responsibility. Purchasing is responsible for managing the procurement of goods and services for our city operations. We are a division under Financial Services Department. The city makes purchases on the open market by informal and formal requests or utilizing exempt purchases. Depending on dollar ranges, different procurement policy may apply. This section provides additional details by dollar thresholds. Now, Erin is going to talk about doing business with the city.
All right, so doing business with the city, you're going to see that we have some training videos down at the bottom that will guide current and future vendors through the tools and features that are available on Austin Finance Online. What we have posted are how to register your business with the City of Austin, how to navigate Austin Finance Online successfully, and how to create a responsive offer. Next, we're going to talk about the purchasing staff directory and capital contracting. So the purchasing staff directory is where you will find contact information for non-construction procurement staff. The capital contracting group, which is our construction group, provides a link where it says Capital Contracting Office to specific information on the construction procurement division. And it includes things like the consultant rate review, professional service agreements, rotation lists, the FY21 average bid price, and the ability to view current bid and RFQ opportunities. Next, we're going to review and highlight some of the policies and programs as related to procurement. So you'll see we are on procurement, home, and then policies and programs. So first, we're going to discuss the anti-lobbying and procurement ordinance. The anti-lobbying ordinance was put in place to provide the most fair, equitable, and competitive process among potential vendors in order to acquire the most competitive goods and services at the best price. Anti-lobbying is applied to most advertised competitive solicitation processes. The anti-lobbying period can be referred to as the no-lobby period, which means the period of time beginning at the date and time a solicitation was issued and until the earliest when the contract is either awarded and executed, 60 days following council authorization, or cancellation of the solicitation by the city, whichever occurs first. During the no lobbying period, there is an authorized contact person for the solicitation, and all communication has to be directed to that authorized contact person. If you communicate with anyone else in the city about the solicitation, it could be grounds for disqualification of your offer, and it wouldn't be able to be considered. The next policy and program we're going to talk about is the City of Austin Living Wages. So this is a council resolution that applies when the resulting contract is predominantly non-construction, services performed on city property or city vehicles, results from a formal competitive solicitation, and approved by council. So the current living wage amount is $15 per hour, and living wage applies to both prime and subcontractors. Now, before we leave this page, we do want to remind everyone of the Small and Minority Business Resource Department session, and that provides a deep dive into the minority and women-owned business enterprise programs, including how to get certified as a small and minority business. So please make sure that you stop by their booth. All right, Sai.
Thanks, Erin. All right, guys. To participate in the city's procurement process, you must be a registered vendor. Under this section, you can retrieve username and reset password or create new account with the city. For your profile check, vendor registration team is here and available to assist in review and update your vendor profile. Please visit vendor registration room or lounge today to confirm your information. So the next thing we're going to talk about are searches. Erin, can you please move over to the next slide? Okay. Under searches section, you can review items such as goods purchases, select link to search for commodity history, bid tabulation, response, and close solicitation. You can look up NIGP commodity codes by keyword search and search for vendor in the directory, which includes certified minority women's owned vendors. Lastly, you can search for e-checkbook and contract catalog. Let's dive into some of the search features. This information provided in the raw data report offers detailed individual procurements. This includes commodity description, quantity, unit of measure, unit price, total price, reference master agreement if applicable, the contract name, purchase order, award date, and vendor information. This data is from October 1st, 2009 and updated weekly. Note that Austin Energy transaction may not be included here.
Okay, now we're going to talk about vendor searches. So up on the screen, you'll see that we can search by 3 different ways. We can search by business name, by commodity keyword, or commodity code. And so we went ahead and typed in Longhorn in the business name. And you'll see over on the right-hand side, this is just a snapshot of some of the ones that have Longhorn either in their name or if it were to exist within the commodity code itself. So this is a great way to search by business name. And then we have the certified vendor directory. So again, 3 different searches. There's the certified vendor search, the certified vendor list, and the commodity code lookup. So if you know any of those, you can search by any of that criteria. Under commodity, what we've done is listed public relations, and you'll see that we could narrow down by area if we desire to. But what it pulls up is the non-professional certified firms for advertising and public relations. And the graph over on the right-hand side shows the files that you'll export. And so there are 36 certified vendors for advertising and public relations. You can download that Excel sheet, and then you'll have access to the certified vendors for that commodity code. Now we're going to talk about Austin Finance Online searches. So again, 3 separate ways to search. We have the e-checkbook payee section, and that is going to search any vendor that we've paid for a good or a service. The e-checkbook expense category, and you can see some of the expense categories listed below that. So if you're curious how we've spent our money by category, you can look and see that for advertising and publication, we have spent over $44 million on that. And then we have the contract catalog search, and you're able to search the contract catalogs for all of our contracts that we hold that are multi-year for different goods and services and construction. And we are going to get deeper into those in a later slide. So now I want to talk about the actual no lobby report. So I know we talked about the anti-lobbying program in another slide, but this is the actual report itself. So what you're going to see is the report has 2 different sections in it. It has an active solicitation section, and what that means are solicitations that are still out there that are available for you to submit a response to. And then the next section of the report are solicitations that are closed with respondents. And so those are solicitations that the due date has passed, and we have a list of the respondents that submitted offers to those. Now, if you have responded to a solicitation that pulls up on any section of this report, or if you're interested in any of the solicitations that are under the active, you'll need to make sure that you are only communicating with the authorized contact, because by being on this report, it still falls under the anti-lobbying and procurement ordinance. So this is the best place to go to check to make sure that there's not an active solicitation that could potentially, have reverse effects of the anti-lobbying, or a solicitation that's already closed.
All right, let's talk a little bit about solicitations information. This is where you'll find active and closed solicitation, watch live bids opening, and view bid tabulation and respondent list. Now let's take a look at what we call active solicitations. To view the list of active solicitation, you can either use keyword search function at the top of the page, use drop-down menu to search by procurement category, or scroll through all the current solicitations. It is worth mentioning that on the left-hand side of each of the stations, we have call out a box that has the symbol in it. Each solicitation has a corresponding symbol which shows which category it belongs in. We'll talk more about this category symbol in the upcoming slides. Using keyword search function help narrow down the list of goods and services that your firm may be able to provide. For example, if your firm can provide services related to water, you would enter the word water in the search bar, and the list of active solicitations that are related to water will display. You can also download the list into an Excel spreadsheet, which is on the top right corner. Now let's try search by procurement category. Click the drop-down menu and select a category. For today, we'll select general services. This will pull up the list of active general services contract solicitation, which you'll see on the right-hand side of the screen. You can do this for all the category listed on the drop-down menu. Searching for closed solicitation. There is a closed solicitation quick search bar up at the top of the page. You can either enter the solicitation number or description and hit submit, and it will return a search. To help narrow down your search, I would recommend that you can search by description, solicitation number, or by specific procurement category, and make sure you select date range from the last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, this month, last month, or enter custom date range. Any of these searches will pull up whatever is available within each of this section. So that will help narrow down the report.
So we do conduct live bid openings on Tuesdays and Thursdays via our online portal at 3 p.m. So again, on the banner, you see procurement and then solicitations, bid openings live. Click on that link and you'll be able to watch any of those bid openings that occur on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3. Now we're going to focus on finding bid tabulations and respondents lists. And this is really similar to searching those closed solicitations that I was just mentioning. So you do have a search bar where you can enter the solicitation description, part of a description, the number if you have it. You can select by category. It defaults to view all, but if you're only interested in a specific category, you can pull that down. And then we're going to have the date range that is in there. That can be customized. It automatically pulls for just like a short period of time, and then you can either change the dates on it, or you can go to 30, 60, 90 days, whatever it is that you're looking for. And then underneath that is the bid tabulation and responses in order of the most recent ones that we'll have. So you'll see there's a choice for all, purchasing office, and contract management. Contract management is our construction group. So those would be bid tabs for the construction group, and purchasing office would be non-construction. And then underneath that, you see two tabs, a bid tab and a response tab, and you can toggle between those to see the difference. The bid tab is going to have the bids that were submitted by the offerors, and the response list is just going to have the names of those that have responded. So when you're looking at the bid tab, so you can click on where it says over to the right, download, and you're going to see there's some orange font. This one says response log. That might have different information there. It might have response log. It might have award recommendation. It might have attendance list, etc. So whatever you see written in orange is what you will see when you download the file.
Okay. Earlier today, we discussed how the city categorize different procurement categories. So the city has classified our contract into 10 different procurement categories, which are mobility, construction, electric utility, facility and grounds, general goods and administration, general services, health and safety, industrial and maintenance, repair and operations, information technology, and water and waste. When you click on the thumbnail for the category, it will take you to the active contract in that category. By the most recent contract expiration date, it starts with the most recent contract expiration date. The next slide, we will talk about expiring contracts. Listed here are contracts expiring in the next 180 days. It is important to note that this contract may have extension option and may be extended. You will notice the category box is on the left-hand side, followed by the contract number, description, expiration date, authorized amount, order amount, which means all previous and outstanding orders, and spend, which means how much invoices has been paid to date. You can also use drop-down box to select the category of your interest, and only that category will return.
So, Sai, I'm noticing the first line on here has an authorized limit of about 1.2 million and an ordered of 50,000 and a spent of 0. So based on what you said, that would mean that they're authorized to spend about 1.2 million, but they've only placed an order for 50,000, but they haven't paid that invoice yet. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Okay, very good.
All right, so under reports, you can run current contract list, top 50 vendors by award amounts, contracts expiration for the next 180 days, and current no lobbying list. Some of this report are very long, so it will take quite a bit of time to download. So just be prepared for that.
All right, we are almost at the end. So what we want to close with are public information requests. So on the Austin Finance Online homepage, if you look down at the bottom, we put a yellow arrow for the public information request. Click on that button, and when you click on that, it's going to bring you to this next page. So the city has two different types of public records. We have one for the Austin Police Department and the one for the rest of the city of Austin. So once you decide which one it is that you have your request for, you'll click on the link. It'll take you to a form that you submit. And once you submit that, you will get a confirmation email letting you know that your request has been received. And then once they have the information, either that you requested or a response to your request, then you will receive a separate email telling you that there is a response waiting for you in your portal. So it is important to note that all of our open records requests have to go through this system. So city employees are no longer allowed to accept open records requests just directly via email as we have in the past. We also want to let you guys know that we talked a lot today about data, And if you have questions on your data, we have a data lounge available with city staff that can certainly help you understand the spend on certain contracts. If you're looking for what contracts are expiring or coming up, if we understand what we did today was a high level overview. And so if you want someone to kind of walk you through it with somebody from the city, then you can go visit that data lounge and they can assist you with that. So we want to thank you today for joining us for our presentation for Navigating Austin Finance Online. If you have additional questions, please type them in the chat box and we'll answer them now. After the presentation has concluded, if you have additional questions, you can either email us at the email up on the screen, vendorreg@austintexas.gov, or call us at the phone number 512-974-2018, and we'll be happy to assist. Thanks again for joining us today on Navigating Austin Finance Online.
Thank you and have a great day.